right, so in this video, we're looking at problems where we need to solve and graph compound inequalities. And they're with the and solutions. So something is greater than this, and it has to be less than something else. So the and is the key. So let me highlight that right up here. Key is the and. So number one, solve and graph it on a number line, this compound inequality. That's like two inequalities in one. So look at this inequality as two separate inequalities. 7 is less than or equal to 7x plus 3, and 7x plus 3 has got to be less than or equal to 9. So it's like two separate inequalities. We already reviewed how to solve inequalities. Just be careful of multiplying or dividing by a negative. We're going to subtract 3 on both sides. On this one, I get 4 and I get 7x. The sign would stay the same. Divide by 7 on both sides. So I get 4/7 and I get an x. It's less than or equal to there. Now keep in mind, you're not dividing 4 by 7. Don't put some decimal that never ends and you need to round it off. We want an exact answer. So 4/7 it is. And then I would write the x. First, I want all the numbers that are greater than or equal to 4/7. So there's two ways you can look at that one. These mean the same thing. Then the other one is 7x plus 3 is less than or equal to 9. So subtract 3 again. 7x is less than or equal to 6. Divide by 7 on both sides. X less than or equal to 6/7. So I'm need to go to my number line, and I need two values. I'm looking at 4/7 and 6/7. 4/7 is less than that, than 6/7. So I write that to the left. 6/7 would be greater, so to the right. I'm going to circle the 4/7, and it says over here, I want all the numbers that are greater than or equal to 4/7. In other words, 4/7 is less than or equal to the numbers I want. So I'm going to grab my color here. I'm going to shade that in because it can be equal to, and everything then would be shaded to the right. Then I have the other part of this compound inequality where it says x is less than or equal to 6/7. So I circle the 6/7. It can be equal to or less than. And in an and statement, it's the intersection of both. So I can't just keep going to the left because it has to also be greater than the 4/7 to the right. So it's everything in between and including the 4/7 and the 6/7 values. Now, if you want to, and it's always a good idea to do this, you have a calculator, it's a perfect thing to do. You take your values, kind of like an equation. You would take the 4/7, substitute that in for x here, and this should equal this. And if you take the 6/7 and substitute it in for x, it should equal the 9. So you know you have the right values. I also set this page up so that you can always go down, this is number 1, and look at the solutions at the bottom. See if I can make it work. Let's just check it here. So there you go, number 1. This is the one we did. We had 4/7, we had 6/7, we shaded them both, and everything in between. What's nice is when I set this up, the answers are down below, but don't look at the answers till you actually did it yourself. And then you can see how well you're doing. That's the sign of somebody who's growing and being more mature. You're checking yourself saying, hey, do I understand this or not? All right, so hopefully you understand these problems. Do your best. Good luck. So I take that back. I'm going to do one more example with you. It's going to be number 8. I already took the compound inequality and I rewrote it into 2 separate inequalities. Now I'm going to solve each one of those. I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides. So I get -9. And I have the 1's cancel out. I have -6. And subtracting does not reverse the sign. Now I'm going to divide by -6 on both sides. So that becomes a positive 9/6. 9/6 you can simplify to be 3/2, so it's a positive 3/2. X is by itself, and the sign has to reverse. Because I divided by a negative, the sign has to reverse. So you can leave it as 3/2, or of course we know 3/2 is 1 1/2. Now on the other side, you're going to subtract 1, -6x less than or equal to 3. Divide by -6 on both sides, which gives me x, gives me a -1/2. And here again, we're divided by a negative, so you reverse the sign. So I need to use -1/2 and a positive 1 1/2. So -1/2 will go here, positive 1 1/2 to the right. I'm going to circle -1/2, and I'm going to look at the one on the right. It says all the numbers that are greater than -1/2. So that means I'm going to shade going this way. And then the other one says if I move the x to the front, to the left, excuse me, I reverse the sign. So I want all the numbers that are less than or equal to 1 1/2. So check this out. So I'm going to go over here and all the ones that are circle it but not equal to. Oh, they are equal to. So I should shade this in, and I should shade this one in. All the ones that are less than that, and it looks like this right here. So let's just take a look at number 8. Let's see if we got this correct. -1/2 on 1 1/2. Number 8. All right, good. It's exactly what we had. Right here. Circled -1 1/2. I'm sorry, -1/2. We have positive 3/2 or 1 1/2 and everything in between. Now, hopefully you got it.